Buying brand new and early access VR titles is always a bit of a risk. But luckily for you, I have tested out all of the bangers that were released in May of 2023 and will reveal the top 3 VR titles that you should either consider buying immediately or at the very least add it to your wishlist and wait for it to go on sale. Coming in at number 3, we have a very spooky game, Propagation Paradise Hotel. It's on the Quest, PCVR and PSVR 2. Now this is rated R18, but to be honest, I don't think I'll be ready to play something like this again until I'm at least 40. This was scary as fuck. It gives off real Resident Evil vibes, but without spoiling too much, you're stuck in this creepy ass hotel looking for your lost sister. All the typical horror stuff happens, the power's out, and to get the power back on you need to find a key, but to find the key you need to find some dude called Dave, but to find Dave you need a chain cutter. I think you get the point. You basically just spend a lot of the time in the dark and really scared. All in all, it's a great little self-contained story with about 3 to 4 hours of absolute pain. I saw it did receive some slack for it being a bit too short, but not every game needs to be a 20-hour investment. Every now and then it's nice just to have a little single player story and then move on, and hopefully I can move on. I would recommend this to anyone that likes horror games, and anyone that doesn't should avoid this like the plague. Next up we have the Pico exclusive, that's right, Pico exclusive called Rampage VR. And I think the easiest way to visualize this is to think of Borderlands but in VR. So there's 35 different weapons, 4 different champions with all unique abilities, boss fights, cool loot, upgrades, and a fully fledged out talent system. Plus it has multiplayer and seasonal rewards. The initial audience score looks really positive, although with the Pico store there's not a huge amount of reviews to go on. And I think this game could kind of go 2 ways. So the fact that they have the seasonal rewards and a talent system with a progression system really adds to the replayability, but the main drawback is that not many people know about it. And because it's a paid exclusive on the Pico, finding players with the matchmaking system can be a bit rough. So I really hope this gets extended to all the other platforms so it can increase the player base. My recommendation is to buy it if you have friends to play it with, or just put it on your wish list and see how the player base reacts when Season 1 launches. And finally, we have the game of the month, which is Creeman. Now, this is out on the standalone headset, so Quest and Pico, and this is the only one that I can fully and confidently recommend as a big fat buy. So based on the trailer and the audience scores, I knew I was in for a pretty solid and good comedic story, and I definitely wasn't disappointed on the comedy side. But what I didn't expect was how good the swordplay is. It's all about parrying and then counter-attacking your enemy, which feels absolutely great, especially when the enemies drop other weapons like swords or guns, which you can catch in your free hand and then combo in a sword stroke into gunshot. As you progress through the 8 different levels or stories, they start feinting their attacks, so you have to have your wits about you, especially with multiple enemies around you. But it also means you can't just slice and dice your way through, and you have to be a little bit more deliberate with your playstyle, because if you don't, you'll die, like a lot. I'm quite into VR fitness, and I can definitely say this was the most physically intense out of all of them, so this one gets a few cheeky bonus points. Now, if you want more information on any of these games, then consider subscribing, because I will make a slightly more in-depth review of all of them. That's all for now. Take care. Till next time.